Hey, sports card collectors and investors. I hope that everybody is having a great day today. Apologies, I literally just rolled out of bed. I got up early, wasn't really able to sleep very well last night, and so I didn't exactly style my hair like this. This is just how it happened, but I figured I would try to make this video before the kids get up. I'm trying to get rid of this shadow. All right, well, we're just going to have the next shadow thing going on. Anyway, I've got a couple of funny stories to talk about today. Later on, I'm going to talk about a Derek Jeter story. But first off, part of maybe the reason why I've been having some weird sleep patterns is Alvin Kamara is holding out. And I am for those that are new, I'm a diehard New Orleans Saints fan. So this is obviously huge news. We've got the Bucks coming up in 10 days? And they've got Tom Brady, and they're pretty much locked and loaded. Bruce Arians is ready to roll against us. And then Alvin Kamara, arguably the best player in our team outside of Michael Thomas, is deciding that he's going to sit out. Now, granted, he's making $2 million this year. CMC, McCaffrey just got a deal at about $16 million a year, $16 million a year. So I'm sure that he's looking at this as like, hey, I need to get paid. And then the other part of that I didn't realize is next season, there's literally like 8 or 9 starting running backs, including guys like Dalvin Cook, that are going to be free agents. So I'm sure part of what he's thinking is like, if I don't get paid this year, then next year it's not going to be looking much better. And he's probably right. So Alvin Kamara, guys, and supposedly the Saints are pushing back, and they're like, hey, look, we'll put you on the trade block. So a lot of drama going on in the Who Dat Nation, and it's affecting me. I was trying to stay strong for you guys yesterday, but no, now it's time to panic a little bit. I did see Mike Florio at NBC Sports was talking that they're actually pretty close to a deal, but until I actually see something in place, I'm a little bit nervous about it. So I just wanted to get that off of my chest first. Also, how about those Nuggets making stuff happen against the Jazz? I thought that was pretty cool. And then the Heat upset the Bucks, we saw. So I don't know if it's an upset. I mean, sort of an upset, but the Heat are good. I think we've established that. So interested to see if the Nuggets can hang with the Clippers. The Clippers obviously, pretty much put it to the Mavs, although the Mavs being shorthanded. The Nuggets, who knows? They're feisty. Let's see what happens. But I'm really kind of looking forward to more of a LeBron, Kawhi, Western Conference Finals is what I'm really looking for. So anyway, guys, I picked out 6 cards that are on my wish list. I thought it would be interesting to share, and I also wanted to get feedback from you all. Are you targeting similar players, or do you already have these cards and you're laughing at me like, loser, you should have got these months ago? I probably should have, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first I'm going to talk about I did have a mail day yesterday, and I talked about action-packed rookie cards of Emmitt Smith. And those are, in a PSA 9 and about the $60 range is where I was. And the PSA 10s were at about the $500 range, which is looking like a bargain compared to the 1990 Score Supplemental Emmitt rookie. And the pop on this is about $733 for a PSA 10. In February, this card was $365. Brings a tear to my eye, as they are now $1,900 is where they are selling. And I think for me, it's not that I'm a huge Cowboys fan. It's just the realization that nobody is probably ever going to break Emmitt Smith's rushing title record of total yards. He played for about 19, 20 seasons. He is going to go down. I mean, look, the way that running backs are used in the NFL now, we've got, the Alvin Kamaras and the McCaffreys, and these guys are hybrid backs that catch the ball out of the backfield just as much as they run between the tackles. So are we going to have another Emmitt Smith, type player that just grounds and pounds? I mean, Adrian Peterson is really the last guy in the league that was used that way, the way I see it. So I just don't know. And then the longevity, it's like Emmitt was able to play for so many years. Running backs get hurt typically. But this guy was just able to be super durable. I don't think anyone's going to break his rushing record. And so it makes a lot of sense why people are jumping on these, and probably why I'm looking closer at it as a card that I wanted. I think what I'll probably do, I'm not able to really afford at this price. Maybe I'll look at it down the line, but I'm just looking at other alternatives, other rookie cards of his, kind of like that action-packed rookie. So full disclaimer on these two, these are just cards on my wish list. I don't own them. They're cards that I want to own, but look, you guys have your own wish list. I wanted to share cards that I like, and that's really it. So, all right, getting on to card number 2. Here's a guy that's been just lighting it up here recently, Jamal Murray. I don't have any of his cards other than one. I've got an Optic Court Kings, I believe, of his. And the one that I'm really liking is this 2016 Prism Mosaic Jamal Murray rookie card in a PSA 10. This card in July, last month, or 2 months ago now, or in September, $91 in a PSA 10. There's only 87 on the pop report right now. In a PSA 10, now they're at $475. Just absolutely rocketed up. And I mean, if you look at that series, I mean, Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray pretty much stamped their, whatever that phrase is, put the stamp on that they can be superstars in the league. Each of them just had huge, I mean, they're scorers, obviously. There's just a lot of guys in the NBA right now that can score the ball, and these guys just proved that they could do it in a playoff atmosphere, which I think does kind of I think that heightens them a little bit, because, you have guys that are great in the regular season and then kind of fizzle during the playoffs. And these are young guys that are showing like, hey, even during playoff time, we can do this. So I think that bodes well for their future. And this is a card that I really liked. I don't know about $475, but I'm going to keep an eye on it for sure. Really love this card. All right, next up is a guy, I do own some of his rookie cards. I don't have this one, though, and it's one that I'm kicking myself because I had opportunities a few months back. I did not take them. This is the 2017 Optic Holo Jason Tatum rookie, and I'm really looking at a PSA 9 at this point. I think the PSA 10s have just gotten a little bit out of my range, but the 9s right now are at about $500. Back in February, these were $48, $50. And they've just absolutely gone nuts. Now, there's only 97 on the pop report, so it's not as if there's 1,000 of them out there. And this is in PSA 9. There's obviously there's also PSA 10s out there as well, but in a PSA 9 right now there's 97. So this is a card I'm going to keep an eye on. It's just, Tatum's red hot right now. The Celtics are up 2-0 on the Raptors. This is not a buying time for me for Jason Tatum cards, so I'm just going to sit back, and hope that I can grab onto one of these down the road. All right, next up, a guy that is not really, so this is kind of one of those guys I'd be prospecting on, but he's a proven player in the league. It's Karl Anthony Towns, and this is his 2015 Prism Silver. The pop on this one right now for PSA 10 is 126. Back in March, this was a $500 card. It is now up to $1,250. And I think the thing is we know this guy he's a great player, fantastic player. I mean, the Wolves have the number 1 draft pick. So I don't know, if they're going to do something with that to make, kind of become a little bit more competitive. But also, this is a guy, definitely one that I'm watching. Could he be traded? Could he be moved to a Lakers team or to a Celtics team, or to a contender in general, and then that kind of push him upward, because he can play in the league. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of getting on a winning team. It's kind of like Trae Young, with the Hawks. There's a lot of guys out there like that. So he's one that I'm watching, but this is one in particular that I would really like to have. I wouldn't necessarily buy a lot of different rookie cards of his, but if I could get a hold of a Prism Silver, even at $1,250, maybe that's not a bad buy, even though it is up. It's more than double. It's a little bit outside of my range right now, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. All right, next up, I'm sure a lot of people are probably thinking, how the heck do you not already have one of these, being a huge Saints fan? And I agree. I should have picked up a Breeze rookie card when they were more affordable. This is his 2001 Topps PSA 10 rookie card. And a PSA 10, the pop is at $393 right now. Back in January, these were $300, $305. Now they're up to $1,600. And it's just, look, he's a Hall of Fame player. Right now, he's the all-time passing leader. He's going back and forth with Tom Brady, as far as yards and some of these records. So we'll see what happens with him. But this is a card, I actually do own this card, but not in a PSA 10. I have it in a BGS 8.5. And you know what I realized? I was looking at it a few weeks ago, and there's actually a crack in the, not a crack, but there's a chip on the case. And I don't know, for any of you all that are watching, does BGS replace it? Can I pay to have them replace or fix a case? Or I'm not really sure how that works. But it's a fairly decent chip. It's not like a tiny little chip. It's a fairly decent chunk. You know, I don't know if I did it moving it around or if it was shipped to me that way. I bought it 2 years ago when I first got back into sports card investing, collecting. But let me know if you know of anything with a BGS case, if there's any way to get that fixed. I would like to, because I love the card. It's just that, you know, that case is an issue. You know, so I wanted to see if I could get it fixed. All right, so the last card I have on the list, a 93 Topps Gold Derek Jeter and a PSA 10. So when I was 18 years old, I worked at a movie theater in Tampa, which since has closed down, unfortunately. But this was 97, I believe, and he was a rookie in 92 to 93. But I was working at the concession stand serving up Coke and popcorn for all the patrons. And there was all this, you know, hoopla around like the line, and I was thinking like, okay, well, I'll get to your popcorn as quickly as I can, you know, thinking that people were just getting impatient about, you know, how quickly I was moving. And it turns out Derek Jeter was in line with one of his, you know, many girlfriends that he had over the years, and you know, people were just going nuts over this guy. I wasn't a big baseball fan in the 90s, but I did know Derek Jeter, and even now today, you see he's become legendary in the baseball world. But just so you know, he ordered a small popcorn, no butter. So if you're looking to be, you know, an all-time great, you know, think about that butter when you're at the concession stand, whether to add it or not. Derek Jeter did not get butter on his popcorn. He got a small. He didn't get the extra large, you know, quadruple large tub. So just want to put that out there for you guys. I thought that was kind of funny to share. So his 93 Topps Gold PSA 10, back in February, it was a $1,000 card. It is now almost up to $3,000. It's right at about $2,800. There's a pop of 381 on the PSA 10, so it's fairly rare card. But that's one where I'm not a huge baseball card collector, but the guy is a legendary guy. He's one of those generational players. He's extremely popular. He's a Yankee. I think that that's a good long-term hold, and so that's one where you kind of missed the boat on it at $1,000. If it retreats off of that 2,800 and comes back somewhere in the middle, maybe I'll take a harder look at it. But that's another, you know, card on my wish list. So guys, thank you very much for joining up with me today and hearing me out on some of these cards. What are some cards on your wish list? I'd like to hear. I'm going to do some more videos kind of like this of cards that I'm targeting that I'm not quite there yet, but I thought it'd be fun. Anyway, if you have not subscribed, we have over 200 sports card investing, collectibles investing, and general personal finance videos on this channel. We will continue to put out daily content as promised. Thank you very much for joining, guys. We will talk to you again later.